Hey everybody, what's going on, and welcome to Guns N' Roses Central, and it's time to talk about another episode of Guns N' Roses True Story. So today we're talking about Slash versus the TV show Glee. Now, this happened back in 2011, and Glee was still on the air at this point in time, and Glee had been famous for getting famous bands to license their music to the TV show, but one such band that didn't license their music was Guns N' Roses, and Slash gave an interview to Entertainment Weekly where he actually talked about the TV show Glee. The reason he didn't license Guns N' Roses music to Glee was because he wasn't a fan of the show. In fact, he thought the show was horrible. He said Glee is worse than Grease, and Grease is bad enough, he told Entertainment Weekly. I look at Grease now and think between High School Musical and Glee, Grease was a work of art. So obviously Slash was not a fan of the show. And the guitarist doesn't have a hardline stance against licensing Guns N' Roses music, but prefers to lend his music and image to projects he endorses. One that may come to mind is 2007's Guitar Hero 3 Legends of Rock, where Slash actually appeared as a playable character, and the song Welcome to the Jungle also appeared in the game. However, its inclusion led to a lawsuit between video game publisher Activision and Axl Rose. We'll cover that in another episode of Guns N' Roses True Story. So Slash's remarks actually caused the creator of Glee to lash out not only at Guns N' Roses and Slash, but also the band Kings of Leon, who also didn't allow their music to be used in the TV show. So Glee creator Ryan Murphy publicly attacked Kings of Leon and Slash in The Hollywood Reporter for not licensing their music. Murphy referred to Kings of Leon as self-centered assholes and said that they are missing the bigger picture. So what was the bigger picture according to Ryan Murphy? So according to Murphy, bands are missing the opportunity to inspire kids to get involved with the arts. A 7-year-old kid can see someone close to their age singing a Kings of Leon song, which will maybe make them want to join a Glee club or pick up a musical instrument, Murphy explained. It's like, okay, hate on the arts. You can make fun of Glee all you want, but at its heart, what we really do is turn kids onto music. He also then went after Slash, who publicly stated he hated the show, to which Ryan Murphy responded, "Usually I find that people who make these comments, their careers are over, they're uneducated and quite stupid people." Now, the irony of all this is that even though Ryan Murphy attacks people like Slash and Kings of Leon for not licensing their music to the show, Slash has actually helped Matt Sorum, who used to be the drummer for Guns N' Roses, with his Adopt the Arts program, where he brings music to underfunded schools. And what's really funny is that Matt Sorum actually works with Jane Lynch, who used to be on the show Glee, as part of the Adopt the Arts program. Here's an interview with the two of them talking about the program.
If that doesn't get you hyped up, I don't know what will. Actually, I do know a stat here from LAUSD. 50% of kids are exposed to arts education. So that means the other 50 are not. Yes. And unfortunately, a lot of them live in the, under poverty. So right. The odds of them being exposed are won't be. So that's where you two come in.
That's where Matt created this organization, was to solve a problem in our neighborhood, which was the Rosewood School.
Yeah, that's right. When I heard the statistic, I ended up downtown in front of the school board, LAUSD, and I just couldn't believe it. So I just put together a program, and it came up with the name Adopt the Arts, and my neighbor just happened to be Jane Lynch at the time. So I recruited her and some of my friends, and we just started building these schools. And, we've got a couple schools fully done with the teachers, and we pay for all the instruments and the kids and everything. We want to build. So every year we try to do more and more and more, and we've been in 25 schools in the district, and every year we have to do fundraisers. So this year we're doing a big fundraiser at the Avalon Theater on Vine Street.
Another band that was asked to license their music to Glee was Foo Fighters, who said no, and Dave Grohl even went on in 2011 on the Howard Stern show and publicly defended Kings of Leon and Slash for not licensing their music to the TV show. Here's the clip.
Also, I like my manager. I've had the same manager for 21 years. I've had the same accountant for 21 years.
I admire your loyalty. I think you're a very grounded person, and there's not a lot of people in rock and roll who are very grounded. There are a lot of people who are just off their fucking rockers. So, we're talking about business for a second. So, when this guy from Glee comes to you, and he seems kind of like a mafioso, he says to you, "We want to use the music of the Foo Fighters for the TV show Glee."
Well, let me explain something first.
Okay.
Glee never approached us to do music.
Okay.
That that came up in conversation when we were doing an interview for The Hollywood Reporter.
I was going to ask, is that the way you have to go now in music? You have to go to Glee, you have to go to American Idol?
Well, I think the point I was trying to so eloquently make when I talked about it was that I think it's important that bands don't feel pressured to do that sort of big business thing, you know? Like, we all grew up in garages and garage bands and van tours, and, you know, whenever anybody asks me musical advice, I say, you know what, just be good at what you do and don't expect much. And if that's not enough, then don't do it, because it's impossible to make it in the music industry. You got to be either really, really good or you got to be really, really lucky, or both.
Well, there used to be artists who, like the Who would say we would never commercially use our music. We would never put it in a commercial. We wouldn't put it on a TV show. And they've all seemed to have shifted because the
model changed.
The model changed. That, like, that's how you get your music out of here. But it seems to me it's become okay to sell out. I kind of admire that you wouldn't go to Glee. But then the guy from Glee is saying, hey, you know, fuck the Foo Fighters. They almost make it seem like you're homophobic or something if you won't give your music to Glee.
Well, you know, it's funny because I said that, like, man, you know, I said that's not fair that he thinks that everyone should do the show, you know.
Right.
And then the next day I told my manager, I'm like, hey, I kind of said some stuff about Glee. And it was like, oh no, you did. Oh my God, what was it? And then, but then Ryan Murphy.
Elton John came out.
And Elton John came out. I mean, basically like Slash and the guys from Kings of Leon. I know those guys, like they're nice guys, you know?
Right.
And the creator of Glee sort of came down hard on them for not agreeing to use the music, right?
Right.
So I was kind of sticking up for them. Like, yeah, you shouldn't have to do that. No, why do you got to do that? And then actually the guy, Ryan Murphy, he kind of said, like, you know what, you're right, I was kind of a jerk about it and I shouldn't have said that.
Yeah, because I mean, it's almost, when I say the mafia, it's like a tactic. Like, I'm going to pressure you. You're not down with
dude,
Glee.
if I had a nickel for every time that's happened to us, over the years, I remember one time we were doing something and we were here in New York City and someone said, okay, there's that red carpet thing you got to go to. And we had a show that night. I'm like, oh, God, do we really? He's like, yeah, you have to go. And I said, are you telling me that my career is going to end if I don't go walk that red carpet? And they basically said, might.
Oh, wow.
Or a radio show.
Yeah.
There was a radio station in, like, Kansas City or something like that said, we want you guys to play. And our guitar player at the time, Franz, just had a kid, like 2 days before.
Right.
And I said, we can't make it. And they said, if they don't come and play this radio show, we're going to pull them from all of our playlists.
That's right.
And then they said, well, at least Dave has to come MC it. I said, you know what? I will come MC it.
Right.
And I'm going to stand there on stage and tell everybody, you know, I'm here because your favorite radio station just said, if he doesn't do this, we're going to stop playing it. So it happens to everybody. And,
But as a
you
guy
know what you
in
got to say?
radio-
You got to say, fuck you.
Well, you know, I admire that because as a guy in radio, I've been on the opposite end of that and seen program directors say, listen, let's pull them from every radio station in the country if they don't comply. And next thing you know, you're at the Jingle Ball. You know?
16 years we've been in this band. It's happened to us more than once.
And you have to take
and you just got to say, fuck you. That's why we're still here.
You absolutely do, and I'll tell you why. Because for every program director, you could end up your entire year touring and doing free Jingle Balls all over the country. and literally, because they will strong-arm you and say, we will run you out of the business. Right. But there are certain bands who will say, fuck you, and I'll take my chances. And so I admire that.
I mean, at the end of the day, the most important thing is that you feel creatively satisfied, that the audience is there for you, and that you're happy and healthy. And because you know what, had we not made it in this band, we'd still be playing music. We just, we'd be working at McDonald's 40 hours a week. And then
be at bar mitzvahs.
Yes, but it would be pretty frustrating. It must be awful to have good music in you and then not have a crowd in front of you, and you're playing some small bar somewhere.
Sure.
And after a while, everyone starts to look at you like you're kind of loserish because, you're getting near your 40s, and then suddenly you're still playing and working at McDonald's.
Yeah, but are you...
Now, as Dave Grohl alluded to in the interview, he did say that Ryan Murphy came out and apologized for his comments, and he in fact did. In fact, he came out and said he regretted his comments. The lesson learned that Ryan Murphy said was that don't say F you to someone in the press. He said, I didn't speak with as much clarity as I would have liked. He said on the set of Glee Friday afternoon, who am I to say F you? That's not what I meant. I completely understand when artists don't want a show or another artist to interpret their songs. In fact, I respect it. It's their personal work, and I feel the same way. We get turned down all the time, and I don't fight it, and I don't even go back after a rejection. He also pointed to a recent request to use a song by Björk in the show, which the Icelandic singer turned down. She read the scene and didn't think it was right fit for her song, he recounts. I told her that's completely cool, and she said to come back to her down the road. We deal with that every day. So that does it for this episode of Guns N' Roses Central's True Story. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Let me know your thoughts in the comments section below. And let me know, were you guys fans of the TV show Glee? I'm guessing most of you weren't, but maybe some of you were. I personally wasn't, and I never really gave the show a chance. But, for a show that got that much press, the ratings really weren't even that good, at least compared to what they used to be on network TV. I'm sure a lot of it has to do with the internet and the fact that people don't really watch TV live anymore. They record a lot of the shows and watch it the day after. But that does it for this episode. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Comment down below and be sure to hit the subscribe button if you love Guns N' Roses. Take care.